Well, everybody, time for another video, which is showing random DVDs number 3. So, anyways, no time to waste. Let's begin. So, yep, starting with this DVD right here. And I've seen this movie before, almost 3 years ago. And this is a great Gavin O'Connor movie from 2020. From 2020, this was before the pandemic begins. So, yep. Or this was the last movie before the pandemic begins. So, yep. Got this DVD from a yard sale back in 2017, which was before I started collecting DVDs. So, yep. Really good Robert Zemeckis movie that I've watched just 3 years ago. This movie stars Channing Tatum and Joe Manganiello and Matthew McConaughey. And I'm just sticking with the first Magic Mike movie, in my opinion, so, yep. Classic movie from 1966 that stars James Gardner, Eva Marie Saint, and Brian Bedford. And I think I saw this movie before, a couple, probably last August, I believe, when I had this DVD sent. And this is a good 2018 movie that stars Melissa McCarthy. If you haven't seen this movie yet, really good 2003 movie that stars Tom Cruise, along with Billy Collin, Timothy Spence, and Tony Goldwyn. And I got this DVD from Goodwill in my hometown back in 2018. So, yep. Amazing 2018 movie that I've watched back in late September, early October. This movie stars Amanda Steinberg, Virginia Hall, along with Common and Anthony Maggot, who plays the bad guy in this movie. And I got this DVD from Goodwill back in September of last year. So, yep. And I saw this movie before, back in 2021 and last year. And this is a really good 2013 movie that stars Sandra Bullock, Melissa McCarthy, and Taron Killen, who also did the voice of Nature Cat himself in the TV series Nature Cat. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to rewatch this movie again soon. So, yep. I haven't seen this movie for a few years, but I've seen this movie before, but it needs a rewatch. So, yep. This is a good M. Night Shyamalan movie from 2004, starring Bryce Dallas Howard, Joaquin Phoenix, Sigourney Weaver, and Adrian Brody. Excellent 2007 musical that I've rewatched last week. This movie stars John Travolta, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken, and Jerry Stiller as Mr. Pinky. So, yep. And if you haven't seen this movie, I recommend you to watch it soon. So, yep. Great 2014 movie that I've rewatched last week as well. This movie stars Brad Pitt, Logan Lerner, Shia LaBeouf, and Michael Pena. Good movie that I've rewatched last Thursday. And this movie stars Emile Hirsch, Christina Ricci, Susan Sarandon, and John Goodman. Really good Mission Impossible movie. And I do have the first two Mission Impossible movies on VHS, and I'm planning to get other Mission Impossible movies on Blu-ray soon. So, yep. And I'm planning to watch the sequels in honor for the Final Reckoning, which it'll be coming out on May 23rd. So, yep. Has DVD, had this DVD for an extremely long time, since 2014, that I got from my late Uncle Damon. And my late Uncle Damon died a few years ago, which is 4 years from now. So rest in peace to him. So, yep. Which is Nana's brother. funny Christmas movie from 2008 that I've watched last December. And this movie stars Vince Vaughn, Reese Witherspoon, along with John Favreau, Robert Duvall, Mary Steenburgen, Christina Chempworth, and John Voight. Even though this movie receives negative reviews from critics, I like this movie from 2010 starring Miley Cyrus and Greg Kinnear. And by the way, if you haven't seen this movie, I recommend you all to watch it soon. So, yep. Fr- and Friday Night Lights is a great 2004 movie that stars Billy Bob Thornton. So, yep. And this movie was inspired by the TV series a couple years later. So, yep. And Movie Channel 2018 has this movie on DVD. So, yep. But to me, it's a good M. Night Shyamalan movie from 2024. So, yep. Great 2004 movie that I've rewatched almost a couple weeks ago that stars Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller. If you haven't seen this movie yet. Got this DVD from St. Vincent de Paul thrift store while I'm in Boise back in July of 2019. And I believe this movie needs a rewatch one last time, so yep. And if you haven't seen this movie, I recommend you watch it because it's one of my all-time favorite 1991 movies right here. So, yep. I think I've seen this movie before back in August of last year, and this is a really good 1989 movie that stars Morgan Freeman and Robert Golan. Classic movie from 1980 that I've watched a few years ago. So, yep. Got this DVD from Walmart couple a couple weeks ago, and this is one of my all-time favorite movies from 1939, and it's one of the greatest movies of all time. So, yep. If you haven't seen this movie yet, so go ahead. I recommend you all to watch it. So, yep. And I'm planning on watching other Wizard of Oz movies soon, so keep an eye on it. Really good 1998 movie that I've rewatched a couple times. One from 2020 and the other from a couple of years ago. And this movie stars Matt Damon, Edward Norton, uh, John Malkovich, John Turturro, and Martin Landau. Awesome 2010 movie that I've rewatched last Tuesday, I believe. This movie stars just Jesse Eisenberg, Armie Hammer, Andrew Garfield, and Justin Timberlake. And I'm not going to pull any discs out because of time, so yep. I saw this movie before, and this is a great 2019 movie that stars Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Foxx, Ralph Spunth, and Brie Larson. And I got this DVD from Walmart back in 2021, so yep. Plan on rewatching this movie soon, so yep. And this movie stars Johnny Depp, Al Pacino, and the late Bruno Kirby. And this movie has Paul Giamatti in his earliest roles, so yep. Awesome 2023 movie that I've watched. And I'm planning on rewatching this movie anytime soon, so yep. Really good 2023 movie that I've watched back in 2023. And this movie stars Joaquin Phoenix along with Nathan Lane and Richard Kind. I've definitely seen this movie before, a couple of years ago, and this is a funny 2006 movie that stars Adam Sandler. And I think I'm gonna do half of the DVDs, which I will be showing a few more DVDs first video, and then we'll stop here for showing random DVDs number 4. And if you haven't seen this movie, I recommend you all to watch it soon. So, yep, one of my all-time favorite 2003 movies that stars Nicolas Cage and Sam Rockwell. Great 2008 movie that I've watched or rewatched Monday morning right before my parents got home from the cabin. So, yep. Awesome 2015 movie that I've rewatched Sunday night. And this is one of my all time favorite 2015 movies that stars Matt Damon. Couple more DVDs for this video, and then we'll stop here for showing random DVDs number 4. And I had this DVD since 2019 that I got from Aunt Sue's. And finally, here's the one and only DVD. Great 2014 movie that I've rewatched a couple weeks ago. And this movie has Ansel Elgort, Laura Dern, and William Dafoe. And I forgot to mention, I made a mistake on the title when I put in a mistake. It's not the fault of our stars. It's actually the fault in our stars. So, my mistake, folks. So, yep. But don't worry, we all have mistakes, and mistakes happens every time. So, yep. Well, guys, there you have it for showing random DVDs number 3. So, stay tuned for showing random DVDs number 4 coming up soon. So, yep.